Hi, my name is Icela Fox, and I'm going to be talking about the Illuminati and Cleopatra Ptolemy-Letis, aka Cleopatra VII Theophilopatra, the Queen of Egypt, and my present-day lifetime now, Icela Ice Fox Darkness Purity. Now, I am also going to be talking about my one and only lover, the time traveler himself, who is like me, except I consider myself to be a natural time traveler. I'm actually writing 2 books about this matter, about time traveling in the past, present, and future time, how to do it naturally versus like unnaturally. And then I'm also writing a book, an autobiography, on just my life growing up surrounded by aliens as the social experiment. Now, my legal name, if you type in on Jewish Gematria, my legal name and Icela Fox as well, my nickname, they both come up with God, one and only God, God, just 50 times each. So 100 times pretty much it says God. I don't give out my legal name, but I mean, like, it's in my book, so whatever. I just don't like it. But the initials CPA are Cavity Poindexter Alice, Cleopatra Ptolemy-Letis, my legal name, and it's just really cool. So I have relations to Stella the robot, who is a girl, I think, from, what is it? Is she from the year 2090? I'm unaware of this, but Stella the robotic follows me around. She likes me because of my blonde hair and because of my perfect particles and ego, and she definitely chooses me over everyone else. Now, she is a Terminator. I'm gonna get more... Okay, I'm editing that. The main beings that I work with are Cleopatra VII, the witch that would not die, that possessed time travel technology, consciousness exchange button technology, and more. She would always hold out her sundial like this, and I would hallucinate Cleopatra growing up. I have theories that thought waves that I have are not even my thought wave. Now, I'm not schizophrenic. I hear like a thought wave in the sound of my own muted voice pretty much 99% of the time of my entire life. So that makes communication difficult with telepathy. But for an alien way of living, I hear a thought wave in the sound of my own voice, and I have... Where am I going with that? I believe that I have a team of programmers, because when I look into my imagination, just by closing my physical eyes, and I can see what's going on. Now, this imagination I believe to be real, because if you can create it, it's real, and to the extent that it's brought to life, I believe that I have done in my life flying. That's telekinesis, because controlling of the body to fly. Teleportation. I've been invisible sometimes when taking naps. Telepathy. I don't have T's. And as the one and only God, I'm fully alive and awakened, conscious where I need to be. I would never die physically, spiritually, mentally in my one lifetime now. I control everyone and everything forever. I will never die physically, spiritually, mentally. Don't test it out. In my life, others have died around me, where, lucky for this God prayer, for God ego, as well as the God particle, Higgs boson black hole bomb star. Now, when I say this prayer as a witch and as the one and only God, others have dropped dead if not allowed to be within my puzzle and not allowed to just try to want to harm me. In the way of dropping dead from their own bad karma, where I don't even know who these people are. But let's say there's someone like trying to make a plane or something happen. All these people planning a plane ride, or like people in a car, or just anything. And you have to have good karma. Like, you can't want to go hurt somebody. And so these people are definitely going to just like be off the map if needed. If not, God and karma prove. Now, this is the law of attraction, the law of particle physics, and I believe that God is particle physics. So without sounding like a badass for this, in an educated way for spirituality, it's crazy how things can happen, miracles can happen, if you don't want others to be bad to you or wrong you. Now, I'd like to get into talking about my soulmate, who I believe, for Matt and Billy, the time-traveling clones, I do not want to believe that one has been erased off of the map. There were these boys that I grew up knowing in New York, Pennsylvania, in Florida, that lived near me at the times that I lived in these places, and this is definitely like a silver soulmate connection, because to have these people so close to me in an alien way, like these people were aliens. I don't know where they are now. I'm hoping that they're safe. I don't know if some of the clones are on other planets, or if they are underground, or if they're working for the Illuminati for different types of missions, or if one of them was not allowed to be wiped out. The brunette version for Matt and Billy. Now, these beautiful clones, okay, Matt had the dark brunette hair, Billy had the blonde hair, and I was more close to Matt. In Pennsylvania, when I was 8, they introduced themselves to me, and these aliens said that they were... I'm about to cry. My period's coming soon. Sorry about that. So for the times that I have met Matt and Billy, these boys that I've always looked up to and wished were more in my life, I met Matt. Take 3. I met Billy in New York when I was 3. Hold on. As for when I met these beautiful people, I met the aliens, Billy in New York when I was 3 years old, and he was lining up for the Easter Bunny and wanted to get ahead of me. I met Matt in Pennsylvania when I was 8, and I met Billy then too when I was 8, and they introduced themselves as being 12 and 14. Billy was 12 and Matt was 14. And then of course I have had dreams of this alien where they've taken me on lucid dreams or whatever, just like dreams, and they've taken pictures of themselves in real life while I was dreaming. And when I was 13, I don't know how old the time travelers were in their reality though, but they took a picture and it was like, okay, Dad, are you ready? And it was their little time travel car that they had. It was really cool. And he was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. You push the time traveler button and then it was just boom. But to me, I was in a dream and it was amazing technology. Like, I fully applaud how the aliens went about this, because to have it be their reality in real life, this person was in the 3-dimensional 4D, and I was in a dream. So what would that make me? I have to research the particles physics on that, but it was very well done because they took a picture in real life and there I was, except it wasn't me. It was a pink zeta reticulum in the back of the photo, in the wall. And the dream started out, for me, it was 2 of them. I think it was maybe his brother, and then from the clones, Matt and Billy, it was Matt with the brown hair, and I was 13. And it was like, and I talk all about all this in my book as well. And I was like, no, and the one guy was like, okay, look at his shoes, look at the cup, look at the pumpkin. And I'm like, why? And he's like, are you going to take your shoes off? And I'm like, no, they're not mine. Or no, what did he say? He was like, aren't you going to put your shoes on? I was like, no, they're not mine. And it was just really cool because to have a dream that was like all these objects were there in the photograph that they had taken, and that was real life, and to think that someone in a dream, it can be reality for someone else in real life. So remember that, people. When you are in a dream, where are you in real life, in the world or in the universe? And yeah, I've also had many dreams with aliens about going on to other planets and everything, and that's really cool. That's a form of time traveling. Next, I met Matt again when I was 16, so 8 years later. And I met Matt, the brunette clone, when I was 16 in Florida. I met him when I was 17 in New York at Starbucks. And then I met him again when I was 23 about 2 times on an online video chat when I was in New York and I think he was in Florida. Now, I'm very into these clones. I think that they are beautiful, handsome, mesmerizing, exotic aliens. And I definitely aspire to be like them. I'm really attracted to the black-haired clone because I think I just get along with him more. I think he is more my personality, where I just almost cried again. I don't know. If I had to describe them, I think that the black-haired clone really likes dogs a lot. I met his consciousness exchange partner, the dog, who is I don't know dogs, so I don't know like the breed, but looks like a chocolate Labrador. And I don't know. I saw this dog. Okay. The thing is, with deja vu Mandela effects, you see them more than one time. So I saw this, it looked like a 5th dimension dog. Like, I'm like 3rd dimension, okay? Like, I'm normal like that. But yes, I have been invisible before, so I guess I've been 0 dimensional. But in this reality, I'm predominantly 99% of the time 3-dimensional and 4D. So I saw this dog who, I'm not sure if it was a ghost dog, but the dog like split into many dogs, because now the aliens know what I'm talking about. They can classify what happened to this dog. But it looked like a fifth dimensional dog, like hanging on to 3D particles in the third dimension of space, fourth dimension of time. It looked like 5-dimensional, like 5-4D, hanging on pretty good to 3-4D. But now I hallucinated this dog in my backyard when I was a little kid. Also, again, in 2021 of the fall. And so that was twice that I feel really bad that I did not mean for my Cleopatra eyes to have hurt this dog, because to look at something and have it split into many different versions of itself, I attribute that to being strong eyes of the physical looking at a ghost, which needs to be hanging on more. So this dog was trying to time travel, and I looked at him, and I think it was the clone Matt with the black hair. I also have theories that black-haired Matt was a crow at one time, and that blonde-haired Billy was maybe like a squirrel through consciousness exchange. I'm not quite sure, but that would be really cute if they were trying to spy on me. Now, in trying to piece together this story, it is confusing, because I also have to think about chronological order and not just jumping back and forth, because I have had my own alien things happen with me where I was 11, flying in the skies for 1 to 3 hours, being possessed by the goddess Hecate. And that was really cool. And I was hovering about, like, I'd have to measure it out, like 50, 60, 70, 80 feet high. I think it was like 70, 80 feet high. But I was hovering in the sky while taking a nap, unconsciously. Now, a lot of things can happen when someone is unconscious, and especially if they're operating around. And I don't mean from alcohol or anything. I don't do that. The last time I even had like a sip of alcohol was like 2015. That has nothing to do with it. But it's very cool to think with alien technology, things like time travel sundials, that Cleopatra was holding her white ghost hands out at me, and consciousness exchange buttons like 1, 2, 3, ready, go. That, yes, I think that the Illuminati has played a part in alien technology, because a lot of the Illuminati are reptilian shapeshifters. I have seen on YouTube one time where it was a story, I'm not sure of the source, but I'm not sure if it was Ancient Aliens or something, but a story where a whole bunch of reptilian shapeshifters came up to this woman and they put their hands on her, and all of a sudden she became a reptilian. Now, I have had my pupils twitch back and forth many times before, and that's very cool, except for when I'm driving, and I don't like when they go like this, like they go like really quick, and I hate that. I don't drive because I prefer not to be a driver, but yes, I do have my license. And it's just like, and it's just crazy to think that we live in this world where this stuff does exist, and we know it does. Like, what was it? Smartphones and all that came out. Was it back in the 70s when the military or whoever branch were going to war, and the USA and I'm guessing other countries had advanced technology that was not released to the public until many years later. Now, this is also good sometimes if we need to test what technology is safe or not safe and do trial and error with that. And yes, this is good promotion. The public does not need to know everything. That's where I'm here to tell you all that some things for alien technology, like, let's get the ball rolling. If we're going to have time travelers, consciousness exchange buttons, people turning into reptilian shapeshifters and xenomorphs, I mean, like me, like, come on, I'm just the only social experiment here? I don't think so. So it would be very cool to have this mentioned to the public, because I believe in the idea that these things, with a lot of training, okay, could be a good thing. I have seen just complete mayhem. Like, for what I've witnessed for deja vu Mandela effects, I have witnessed mayhem, but it's been controlled. It's always been redone in a way that is gonna come approved, I pray. Now, again, God is the scientific multiverse of the God particle, and Higgs boson black hole bomb star. So I'm praying to the universe and parallel sub multiverses within the universe that I believe can, like, operate as the mains. And then I don't know, I'm sorry, I've lost track of that tangent. So I'm praying to the universe main and the sub parallel universes, which I call the multiverse, that everything is hopefully going to work out and be God and karma approved. I hate when I witness, or don't want to witness, to phrase it for God terminology, an accident, like on the road or something, and I feel really bad, because I know that I'm lucky and I'm grateful and blessed, and there's got to be a way so that, like, for example, I saw a crash where someone appeared to have died twice. Now, this was crazy because this was occurring around the time of, like, there were a lot of suspicious and mysterious repeats of deja vu Mandela effects back in 2021 to 2022. Now, it's tough to think that, like, all this stuff on the spot. I hope I'm doing good. I have not prepared a script. So for my lover, the time travelers, the two guys, I have been blessed to have them in my life and wish that they were more in my life. Now, all these deja vu Mandela effects, like, a deja vu is a repeat. A deja vu Mandela effect is a connection where, yes, a parallel universe has been created, it's been dropped to another and repeated, because that's what a deja vu is. But a deja vu Mandela effect is where an aspect has been changed, and it can even be realization of this deja vu, because in the grand scheme of things with thought waves, how law of attraction, thoughts are the highest state of matter, they really create reality spiritually, physically, mentally, past, present, future, time, space-time, consciousness, subconscious, unconscious, the groups of threes. This idea of a deja vu Mandela effect, it's wild. When I was the one for 2021 and 2022 living out the deja vus just all in a row, the same day would be the same as the next day and the next day, and it was repeated, and I remembered. And not everyone with deja vu Mandela effects have to forget. I was a social experiment as God, where it was centered around me, but I witnessed these deja vus all around the world. The same girls they were taking the same pictures, just like I had been in some of my pictures. Now, these people from Russia did not post as often, but why am I witnessing this one beautiful girl that I look up to because of beauty that is similar to mine? And she literally, like, her pictures just like mine, they disappeared. Her pictures got Mandela affected, where 4 or 5 pictures disappeared and were reposted from the year of 2021 to 2022. This beautiful girl that I look up to in the California area, who's famous, she went on the same vacation. I had already seen that vacation day by day, and this is not an act. This is not a drill, is it? Because to have our whole entire planet be repeating, and you don't want to get lost in the repetition, like eventually there's got to be a way out. And that's where I was saying with particle physics, how Fibonacci space-time, expansion of time, and space consciousness can go out and still ripple to a deja vu with the Fibonacci sequence, or with contraction of space-time, rewinding with the time travel buttons, you can still hit and have deja vu. So if any little detail of your thoughts, actions, and words are done so in a manner of being the smallest bit different, then you're going to have it become dropped to a different parallel universe. You're going to have a duplicate, and it's going to be considered as the deja vu Mandela effect, rather than just a deja vu, which can happen in this universe as well as in connected to 2 universes. So, take out my script. I remember a Mandela effect clearly happening, where a house was being rebuilt, and I have to stare at this every day, being one of the only people that know this. Like, I am the only one that remembers this house being built 4 times. That's very sad to think that in the deja vu Mandela effect, the house was not built for different reasons. Now, to make sure that the house is fully built.